It's a great time to be in sports entertainment and the stuff we're doing.
What do you think about
I think we're gonna
this
really
new deal, man? AEW, man, is real.
All Elite Wrestling, they had the rally, the Double or Nothing rally a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, I'm sorry. A couple days ago in Jacksonville, Florida.
A former WWE talent, maybe you've heard of him. His name is CM Punk. They have CM Punk.
Relationship is Kenny Omega. The word is Kenny Omega has already turned down WWE's offer and is expected to sign with AEW.
Big guy रहा है बैच इशू चल रहा है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को लेके.
Hey, thank you everybody for listening. This is Kent with Full Entertainment Media. We have Joey Ryan on the line with all the recent developments with All Elite Wrestling. How exactly did that come about, Joey?
Well, at the time, there was a handful of us, about 6 of us, that had been wrestling throughout Southern California, and a lot of promoters had been coming in and starting up and failing, or for one reason or another, whether they didn't, they were inexperienced, or they were taking the wrong advice, or just plain old getting worked by the boys. So the 6 of us thought we had a pretty good grasp. We probably didn't at the time, but we thought we did, had a pretty good grasp on how wrestling worked, and figured we could do it without a promoter. And so we just ran one show, and then it was well received. So
how much exactly? It seems like All Elite Wrestling is greatly that most of their viewers are, with being the elite, come from the internet. How much of it do you think is the demographic you're going for, the internet crowd, or is it bigger than that?
Definitely, shows are like an all-star show. There's very little as far as it goes, as far as storylines go, or traditional pro wrestling storylines go. It's very much just once a month. And that might be what changed. What's different from like a Ring of Honor is that Ring of Honor runs 4 or 5 times a month. Well, yeah. Pro wrestling runs once a month. But real quickly on your question, it is like an all-star show where the competition itself is the storyline. There's no stealing anyone's valet, or there's no locker room attacks. It's pretty much just in-ring competition, and storylines come from rematches and things like that.
Now, we've seen Ring of Honor dramatically change when Sinclair Broadcasting Group bought them from the way their style was. Any chance that you think All Elite Wrestling will dramatically change in much the same way when they're trying to appeal to a broader audience? Let's see, they get a national television deal. Do you think that you'll see it change the same way Ring of Honor changed when they were bought by Sinclair Broadcasting Group?
I think with that, it's ROH is and bless them for it. They're bent on growing, and they want to keep their company getting bigger and bigger, and however they're going to do it, they're gonna have to change. If they have to change their format or change their roster or figure out what works best for them, then more power to them. Content with its fan base and its where it's at, and and the fact that we can bring all-star show once a month, with Ring of Honor trying to get different TV deals and stuff like that. They're bent on growing, and like I said, more power to them if they can accomplish what their goals are.
Now, we know you have a Lucha Underground contract. Do you have a contract with All Elite Wrestling?
It's funny that people keep asking that. I do not have a contract. I just did a show actually for NWA Hollywood on Saturday, a television taping. And I don't know if most people know how TV contracts work, but if I was employed by one TV company, I wouldn't be able to appear on another. So I'm still on the indies. I still take bookings myself. No one has to go to me. JoeyRyan@hotmail.com if you want to book me. So yeah, I'm still working my ass on the indies.
Do you know anything about the lawsuit in between the WWE and All Elite Wrestling over some trademarks? Have you heard about this?
To be quite honest, I don't know that much. I don't know any more than I've read on, the internet. So any more than most people out there. But things like that. That's not, that's obviously not pro wrestling. You do that in any industry. And you can get, there's liable, and I think it more falls on the employee. I don't know, obviously without that employee there's no lawsuit, so I don't know all the details of it, but I feel like if things like that need to play out in a court to see if
so you wouldn't want to pick a winner of who's going to win that case.
Well, I don't know the details of it.
The WWE felt like some of the trademarks that All Elite Wrestling was trademarking, that they had rights to it, not so much All Elite Wrestling, basically.
But I don't know if that's how it happened, or if the guy, if WWE, because they're, WWE's been in business a long time, and they're, a multi-million-dollar, at times billion-dollar corporation. So, they don't, you'd think that they wouldn't have any on the business side of things, they wouldn't leave any openings like that to be sued. But who knows how it's going to play out? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the details. I haven't read any documents, so. I guess I'm just going to pay attention like everyone else and find out when everyone else does.
Now, you touched in the YouTube
Bar Wrestling YouTube
videos that you thought that, I bet you're kind of surprised by how many people have actually watched those videos.
I'll tell you what, and I almost feel kind of bad for putting him in the situation that I have, but David Lagana, who is a good friend of mine, or I worked with him in NWA, I worked with him in Ring of Honor, I worked with him at Ring of King, and now most wrestling companies think that way in terms of we tell the fans what they want instead of the fans telling us what they want. But I think Lagana is proactive in that account, and the more he gets, the more they see that, the more they let him do his thing. I think the product can turn around. I just think right now there's just a little bit too much in traditional ways of wrestling booking.
12 million people watching wrestling on Monday nights. You had 5 million watching Raw, 5 million watching Nitro, a couple million flipping back and forth, and 1 million dedicated to ECW. So there was a lot of people watching wrestling back then. Yeah. And you don't have that privilege. But
no, I don't have two companies, large companies in wrestling, putting guys under contract just to keep them away from their competition.
Hopefully, All Elite Wrestling can bring that back to professional wrestling, where two companies will basically sign wrestlers just to keep them away from the competition. Now, when you're in front of the camera and when you're not in front of the camera, you obviously act different. And I mean, with you, it's dare I say, a little over the top sometimes. Do you get what I'm going with this?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I very much have a Bruce Banner side, and I very much have an Incredible Hulk side. And right now I can be cool, calm, and collected, and be Bruce Banner. But anytime I'm in the ring, or under the spotlight, or bell to bell, it's my Incredible Hulk side. It's not a character that I put on. That's really me, and that's how I feel when I'm out there. But that's what you're always going to get 100% of the time when I'm in front of the cameras. You're going to get the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, I brought up ratings and segments. I got to know your opinion on Vince Russo.
I've never met the man. I've never worked with him. I've never done anything with him. I'm friends with the Young Bucks, who were Generation Me in TNA, and they loved him. They thought he was great. That's about all the exposure I've had to him, though.
So the Young Bucks are fans of him. Yeah, and I've always commonly, since anybody I've ever interviewed, no one ever has anything bad to say about Russo, especially the younger the wrestler is. You get into age, and they have more of a problem with Russo. But the younger. Go ahead.
I was going to say he's not the traditionalist that most wrestling promoters are.
I get a lot of heat because I'm a big Russo fan. I'm absolutely a huge Russo fan. You pointed out he's not a traditionalist. I mean, and I like that. I mean,
I was talking to a friend on the phone about wrestling, and I said, I'm a fan of gimmick matches. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of gimmick matches. I'm really excited with David Arquette. Let's throw that out there because high budget situation. A triple cage match, right? Bring that back. David Arquette's back. You got a bunch of money to throw around. The idea to watch the Young Bucks in some spectacular, because you can't see something like that on the indie level because they obviously can't afford it. If you could see something like a triple cage in All Elite Wrestling, that excites me. I don't know. Is it a problem that I'm a fan of gimmick matches?
It's not bad to be a fan of any kind of matches. It's your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think wrestling is very subjective. Some people are going to like you. Some people are going to hate you. I think I'm very much a love him or hate him kind of character, kind of guy in the ring. which I appreciate, because I'd rather people hate me enough to say they hate me than just be indifferent towards me. Same thing with gimmick matches. It's somebody's opinion. It's how they feel about what entertains them.
So go ahead.
I don't necessarily think it's two different. I don't think it's a different person. I think it's just a different way to get your message across. Obviously, when you're in front of the camera, you want to dress it up and be a little bit more entertaining. But so my messages are the same exact things I'm saying to you on the phone or on this radio interview right now. But I'm just presenting them in a different manner.
Totally understand. It's been fun, and I'm going to close it up. Any final words? Anything you really want to get out there anything that you want to get out there?
You know what? I just keep following me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @JoeyRyanOnline. My Facebook is facebook.com/JoeyRyanOnline. I already pitched my email, joeyryan@hotmail.com, for any bookings. And just pay attention. I'm an independent wrestler, and I'm hard at work, and I'm trying to make a living doing it. So, the more attention and the more support I get, the better. So I appreciate all the fans and all they've done for me.
I got one more thing to say. An eye from WWE. Has WWE showed any interest in you that you know of?
You know what? When I come to the Los Angeles area, I tend to, get a call to do extra work, which I appreciate, and I have a lot of fun seeing a lot of my friends there and enjoy obviously the money that they pay me to be there. But so I imagine around SummerSlam I might get another call for it. So we'll see. The powers have shifted, so to speak. I think Triple H is taking a more hands-on approach to who gets hired, and and maybe Johnny Ace wasn't so impressed, but maybe Triple H will. So keep your fingers crossed. It's up to them. If they think that if they feel like they want to admit to making a mistake, then they can come get me.
Joey Ryan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, man.
Thank you.